Hello students, today we're going to learn chapter 7, Ethical, Social and Political Issues in E-commerce. Learning objective for this chapter is 1. Understand why e-commerce raise ethical, social and political issues. Ethical, social and political issues. Understands basic concept related to privacy and information rights. The practices of e-commerce companies that threaten privacy and the different methods that can be used to protect online privacy. Okay, so we're going to learn what does it mean by privacy, okay, and also information rights. Right, so how e-commerce company actually manage consumers' privacy and also use consumers' informations, right, in e-commerce. 3. Understand the various forms of intellectual property, IP, intellectual property, and challenges involved in protecting it. Okay, so intellectual property such as copyrights, patent, trademark. Okay, other than privacy information, these are something actually property have to be protected as well. Understand how the internet is governed and why taxations of e-commerce raise governance and jurisdictions issue. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of the governments and also laws. Identify major public safety and welfare issues. Public safety and also welfare issues raised by e-commerce. Okay, so understanding ethical, social, and political issue in e-commerce, we begin with understand why internet, like other technologies, can enable new crimes and also affect environment, threaten the social values. Okay, so internet, like other things, is common when someone actually trying to actually steal others' informations. Right, so e-commerce, throughout the e-commerce platform, because e-commerce they are consumers information and also particulars. Hackers actually likes to hack the servers and steal most of the important informations, right? So it may also threaten the social value as well, right? So may that later we talk about ethical, whether people are ethical to manage these information which is not belong to them, right? So costs and benefits must be carefully considered, especially when there are no clear-cut legal and cultural guidelines, right? So we have to look at how actually a company and a government actually should come in actually to protect, okay, this information and also how they actually use the informations legally. Okay, so issue raised by internet and e-commerce can be viewed at individual, social and political issues. So we look at these three things: individual, social and also political levels. So the four major category of issue are information rights, property rights, governance and public safety and welfare as well. Okay, so information rights. So how you're going to share, how you're going to keep the informations, right? Where to share, where to keep, and then how to edit, right? Keep means maintains, right? How to maintain the informations. Property rights, right? How to use the property, right? How do you have permissions, something like permissions, Okay, right? Governance, right? We talk about law enforcement. Okay, public safety and welfare as well. Okay, how we actually, right? Whether we have ethic, right? We talk about ethical, right or wrong actions. Okay, so how we actually talk about something actually which is ethical or non-ethical. Okay, so this is a way we talk about right or wrong actions, right? Something we share in the community, right? We have to be responsible for it, right? Whether that is right or wrong. Okay, so first of all, we have to talk about basic ethical concepts. Ethicals. What does it mean by ethicals? Ethics. That is a study of principle used to determine right and wrong courses of action. Okay, so whatever action we taken, right, we have to measure it, right? So when we talk about ethics, ethical, it is something moving from wrong to right, right? So how we're going to push this from wrong actually to right? We don't want to have something reverse, right? Okay, so responsibility is important, right? First of all, who responsible for it? Who in charge? Second one, who accountable? Right? So I responsible for it, but I don't accountable for it. Means whatever things happen, it's not my fault, right? I responsible, yes, but that is not my fault, right? So that is what we call accountable. So you actually admit that is my fault. Okay, liability, laws permitting individual to recover damages. So any damages to any party, who is going to liable? Right, liable means recover the damage. Yes, I caused the problems and I liable for it, means you may pay money, right, to the other party to recover damages. Example, you hit the other people's car, right, you pay something, certain amount, right, to recover the damages, right? And due process, law are known and understood. Okay, so what does it mean due process? Due process means when you cannot actually come to agreement, both party actually do want to admit, do want to liable for anything, but of course both party actually thinks they did something which is right, they are not in the wrong positions, right? So means they can escalate to further authority, higher authority, to ensure law actually apply correctly, right, to judge who is right, who is wrong. Okay, so means bring it to higher authority. Okay, like you hit people's car, then okay, no one admit right or wrongs, which party is wrong, no one actually admit, then we report police, right, bring to higher authority. Okay, so ethics, we talk about responsibility, who responsible for it, who accountable. Yes, I accountable for it and I pay for it, liability. If not, bring it bring the case to higher authority to judge who is right, who is wrong. Okay, so analyzing ethical dilemmas, process of analyzing ethical dilemmas, right? Number one, identify and clearly describe the facts. Right? What actually happened? What actually happened? Okay, define the conflict and dilemmas and identify the higher order values involved conflict. So I define what actually cannot come to the conclusion, the conflicts, and also dilemma. Dilemma is something at doubt and cannot compromise, right? Disagreement, right? Dilemma means they have a lot of doubt, they cannot find the agreement, right? There's no agreement at all, right? Doubt, agreement, no agreement, right? No one's agree. Identify the stakeholder who actually involved, who involved, right? Who? Okay, identify the options that you can reasonably take. Options, what kind of option can be taken, should be taken, right? So actions, further actions. Okay, either pay the losses, the damages, or actually escalate or report police, right? Log police report. Okay, number 5, the last one, identify the potential consequences of your options, right? So means once you have these options, so what will be the consequences? Let's say I pay I pay money to recover the damages, right? What will be the consequences? Is it the right decisions or not, right? Potential consequences mean what will happen after the action is taken, right? What will happen next? Consequences, what will happen next? Okay, so these are some of the steps to analyze ethical dilemmas. Why? Ethical dilemma means the process to identify right or wrong process. Okay, identify right or wrong. Okay, so now we talk about information rights and wrongs as well. Okay, so every individual, they have their privacy, right? So what does it mean by privacy? Privacy is something like moral right of individual to be left alone. Just leave me alone. Then that is what we call privacy. Right? I have my privacy. I don't want people to disturb me. I stay alone in my room. Okay, so free from surveillance or interference from other individuals, organizations, and or state. Right? So leave me alone. Okay, but of course, when you have privacy, but of course you cannot actually against the law, right? So there are 4 premises of information privacy, okay, in information rights, right? So as an individual, number 1, you have the right to control information collected about, right, about them. Right to control information, right? So as this is number 1, right to be forgotten. Okay, so individuals have the right to be forgotten, right? Whatever information you share, right, you have the right to delete, right? You don't want to share anymore. Okay, example, today you have the right actually to close your membership account. Okay, that is right to be forgotten. So means remove your privacy information from the internet or from any entity online, right? Second one, right to know when information is collected and give consent. Okay, so this is what we call informed consent. Okay, to know information is collected means as consumer, you have the right actually to give permission to for the other party to share your information for certain purpose. Okay, so information consent means a permission should be obtained from consumer before e-commerce company actually share or edit, right? So this is a second right for consumer. Right to personal information due process, right? So whatever dispute happen, right, as just now I already mentioned, due process means escalate, right? So consumer can actually escalate whatever dispute to higher authority to judge what is wrong, what is right? Okay. And the last one, consumer also have the right to know whether e-commerce store their information, personal information, in a secure manner, right? Store the personal information, right, in a secure manner. Okay, so these are 4 premises of information privacy: right to be forgotten, informed consent, due process, and personal information stored in a secure manner. Right, so remember, these are the 4 premises of information privacy. Okay, as just I mentioned, right to be forgotten, allowing individual to have information, video, and photograph about themselves deleted from certain internet records so that they cannot be found by search engine. Right? Means when people search online, they cannot actually view, right, personal information, right, others of personal information. Informed consent, permission is given with full knowledge of the risk involved, probable consequences, and the alternative as well. So means the permission is given to the other party to share. Go ahead, right? Because the permission is given. Due process, a requirement that legal matter be resolved according to established rules and principles, and that individual are treated fairly, right? Treated fairly. I want to know whether I'm wrong and right? Treated fairly. Okay. Okay. So privacy in the private sectors, right? Privacy right of consumers. Privacy issue rules with first large scale nationwide computerized system, right? This was happened when credit card rating agency actually, right? Because credit card system, right, content of consumer information, right, means a credit card holder, right? So that is sensitive, private informations, right? Of course, other parties, other banks, they like it because once they obtain this privacy information, they actually can promote other services to this group of consumer, which obtain from other banks, right? Sometimes we receive call from bank, right? Other bank offer us, right, different kind of services, right? So from where they obtain this, right, it means other bank may actually sell consumers or customer or card holders information to other banks, right? Historically, few claims to privacy in public and open market as well. Okay, these are some of the examples. So what are the information collected by websites? Right, information collected by website. So there are 2 types of data collected by websites. Number 1, what we call personally identifiable information, PII. Okay, PII. Second one, anonymous information. What does it mean, PII? PII means information can be traced, right? Consumer can be traced based on PII. Okay, anonymous information means a consumer cannot be traced based on this. What does it mean can be traced? Means when you give me certain information, I know who is this consumer, right? I can trace, I can check, I can dig up their historical informations. Whereas anonymous information unable to trace consumers historical information. Right? Example, type of data collected: name, address, phone, email, social security number. In US, what we call IC number. Right? Name. If you give me your name, I know who are you. Right? This is PII. Right? Name is PII. Okay. Address also PII. phone also PII, email also PII, so OPs PII, bank and credit account, this one also PII, gender, and then when we talk about gender, you tell me you are male or female, I don't know who are you, right? So this is anonymous information. Okay, age also anonymous, occupations, educations, right? Anonymous. Okay, preference data, okay, transaction data, clickstream data, browser types, right? These can be, some can be PII, some can be anonymous, right? If transaction data come with consumers name, everything, okay, it could be PII. Or way up, it could be, right? Click streams, right? It could be, right? So these are things, it could be PII and or anonymous, right? It could be. So browser type, right? Anonymous, right? If you let me know Internet Explorer, I don't know who are you, right? So these are some of the data, right? When we collect, right? Some actually PII, some could be anonymous emissions. Okay, so top concerns of key issue in online privacy of consumer. Consumer, what they actually worry about. Their top concern are profiling and ad targeting. Why? So means like just I mentioned, the other banks sell the personal data to the other bank. Actually, the other bank actually use it for ads, advertisement purpose. Right? Advertisements, social network security as well. Why? When you share something online, why? Especially in Facebook, why? So people may trace you easily. Okay, sharing of information by marketers. Why? Marketers use it to actually promote. Why? Promote you something else or sell to the others marketing people. Mobile phone privacy as well. Why? Mobile phones. So your phone number actually leak up. Why? Of less concern, right? Some company actually less concern because they want to monitor their employees, right? Sharing of health information as well, okay, and also surveillance to prevent terrorism. But sometimes certain privacy information have to share. You have to share, right, in order to solve certain important or emergencies. All right. Okay, so marketing profiling. Okay, marketers actually they want this for personal information to actually create certain profile. Right? They want to create right, creation of data image that categorize online individual and group behavior. Right? So they want to have a segments. Right? Segment. They want to do segmentations. Okay, segment. So group into different people with different kind of consumer behavior, right? Anonymous profile as well. Why? I can say most of the profile actually shared by, like example, Google and Facebook in anonymous profile. Why? They actually cannot actually simply share as customers or consumer privacy information such as just some PII information. Right? So this one no PII information, right? Or personal profile as well, right? Personal profile. Okay, they want to target you, right? More on personal contact. Okay, sometimes you receive recommendation, welcome letter, promotion letter, right? They actually target you personally, right? What we call personal contact. Advertising network track consumer and browsing behavior on web, dynamically adjust what users sees on screens, and also build and refresh profile. Okay, so whatever activity have been done, actually they they want to put a right ad, right, to promote services or products. Okay, so facial recognition tools now popular like Facebook. Okay, they're able to recognize who are you. Okay, so this is the latest technology. Increase effectiveness of advertising subsidized content, yes. Enable sensing of demand for new product. Okay, so they want to understand what will be the demand, right? How consumer actually welcome the new product launch in the markets, right? Okay, social networks and privacy. Okay, so when we talk about social network means something like Facebook, blog, all this, right? So they encourage, like Facebook, they encourage you to share your personal details, right? Why? Because with your personal details, they will able to sell it to other consumer or others business entity, right? To design their advertisements, right? To accommodate their advertisement more effective, right? In more effective way, means that they know who should be targeted. Okay, so like Facebook, they use facial recognition technology and tagging, right? So this is something like viral marketing as well. So when you share something like example photo, they able to target you, right, based on your face on the photo. Okay, so also serving ads to user not on the Facebook as well, right? Friend of friends, right? Friend of friends as well, right? So this is something like viral networking. Okay, sharing information with the party as well, where you can share. Okay, you can share as well, right? Okay, some other issues may be smartphone app as well. Funnel personal information to mobile advertisers for targeting ads as well, right? So they can actually track and store user location, right? So mobile apps, okay, they able to track your location, right? And also track users use of other apps as well, right? Whether the app is popular or not popular. Okay, so knowing consumer location and also use other apps, right? This is also how they analyze whether their products and services popular or not, right? Okay, okay, so privacy policies. Okay, websites term and use notice, right? Website always come up with a term and condition. Sometimes we say term and conditions, right? Okay, so do you read term and condition when you sign up as a member, like example Lazada, right? Shopee, all this, right? I don't think so, because recently study show that these policy would take average about 8 hours, right, to read. Right? Do you have that kind of patience to read? Okay, have conflicting statement as well, right? Some statement may be conflict with your interest, right? If you don't read, then you just agree all, right? So don't complain when there's something wrong. So we will to go back to the what is called term and condition to understand what you have agreed for. Okay, so little oversight and comparison between policy and also different companies. All right, so different company they come up with their different policies, okay, to protect, to use privacy information online. Okay, so what will be some of the technology solution to solve this kind of issue, right? So some solutions include, right, spyware blockers, because the privacy information easily actually obtained by hackers or any company. They actually have certain intention, right? So spyware blockers, right? We already know spyware is some unwanted software actually installed in computers, right, to read your keystroke and also send certain information back to hackers server. Pop-up blockers and also block ad blockers, right? Pop-up, keep pop-up advertisements, secure email, anonymous emailers. Okay, so to use a secure email, why don't simply use other like Yahoo? I think now not quite safe. Right, Gmail, all this, okay. Right, using Gmail, right, Outlook. okay, right? Cookies manager, right? Don't have to clear, right? Have to clear cookies when you exit the website, right? Don't let cookies as it keep, right? Cookie is something, a small data stored in the web browser to allow you come back to the same website next time, right? It can actually start up fast, right? To save you actually to load the website from the beginning again and again, right? But at the same time, these hacker actually love cookies because they can actually analyze what actually you stay in the website, right? So like Lazada, they actually follow you, right? When you just surf Lazada website, and then at the same time you open Facebook, right? So they can actually give you recommendations. So you receive recommendations, right? They recommend certain product for you to follow up and to buy. This and file erasing system, right? To protect file and disk erased by virus. Okay, protections and public key encryption. Put up uh, double, triple layer of password, right? Password. Okay, different kind of passwords to protect. Okay, so privacy protection as a business, privacy advocacy group, right? So these are talking about some of the laws, right, to protect privacy informations. Okay, some example like Apple iPhone 6 and encryption use of personal data by government agency. Of course, different kind of platform, they have their privacy protection as well. So they have to tell government, example in US, they have to tell government like Apple iPhones, right? So they have to actually comply with certain law to protect consumers' privacy information, right? They cannot simply share, right? Even they have that kind of capability to copy and share, to edit, to sell consumer information, but they cannot do it, right? Okay, that is what we call ethical. Okay, so don't simply buy something, example Chinese tab or handphone from China, right? So the brand is actually not really popular, right? So you have to buy a brand is a popular brand in the markets, example like Samsung, Apple, all this, right? So they actually able to protect privacy information. Okay, so now we talk about intellectual property rights. Okay, what does it mean by intellectual property rights? Right, intellectual property itself, IP, right, is the product, right, is the product, is the property, right? Okay, not just a product, but of course it can be intangible product, something like books, songs, right? Content, provide in terms of content or in terms of product, physical products. So intellectual properties, all tangible and intangible products of human mind, right? Either tangible means physically you can hold it, okay, or intangible, physically cannot hold it, like songs, right? Music, all this. Major ethical issue: how should we treat property belong to others? This is a key questions. How we should treat properties belongs to others, right? Not created by you, right? Others created it, right? So how you actually treat the property properly, okay? Major social issue is that continued value in protecting, right? So how you going to protect? How to protect? Major political issue: how can internet and e-commerce be regulated or governed to protect the intellectual? So how government, right? So this is again talk about laws, right? So the is there continued value in protecting, right? This is a major social issue, right? So how we going to protect, right? So we talk about ethical, right? Ethical. Okay. So there are three main type of protections so far, right? Number one, copyright, patent, and also trademark law. Okay. So later we're going to talk about this in details. goal of intellectual property law. What should be the law act? Right, so the law actually is to balance the two competing interests, either public and private. Right, example, I create, so whether you can use my intellectual property or my property, right, for your commercial purpose. Okay, so two party may come in to actually fight. Okay, so whether the other party able to use the other party's IP, right? So this is intellectual property law, is to judge who actually having the rights. Okay, so maintaining this balance of interest is always challenged by the invention of new technology. Of course, when you talk about this property, the property, it can be evolved, changed from time to time because a new technology is coming, right? As compared to before, right? Edison actually invented the bulb. Bulb, okay, because of no new technology so far, right? At the time, okay. But now the technology actually keep coming and keep changing, right? So today we talk about this design. Tomorrow the design may change, and the other, it can also be covered by the other technology. Okay, so technology keep changing, is difficult to protect the product. Once IP may also change as well, right? IP law. Okay. Okay, so what does it mean copyright? Copyright is protect original form of expressions from being copied by others for period of time. Right? Example, book, right? Song, okay, video, okay, or writing book, writing articles. Okay, so to protect all this, okay, look and feel copyright infringement lawsuit actually used to protect means look, right? Something like a design, right? Design, feel, right? Look and feel, okay? The design as well, design, copyright as well. Patent is something very novel kind of a product, right? Before, no one actually created these things, but someone actually created, right? So means in this world, not yet having this product, right, or property. Okay, so patent is to grant owners 20 years monopoly on ideas behind an invention, right? So the owners actually can actually hold the patents, right, to protect the design, protect the invention. I call it invention. Invention means that something not yet actually having in this world, right? The whole world not have this product, but you are the first one actually, right, created it. Okay, so invention must be new, non-obvious, what, not non-common. It's not common and also novel, right? No one actually created it before, and this is the first thing, new thing in the world. Okay, encourages investor, right? Okay, so promote disseminations of new technologies, new techniques through licensing, right? For example, Apple and Samsung patent wars, right? So they fight. Who actually the first one in this planet created this technology? Right? Who first? Okay, who is the first? Okay. Other than that, we look at e-commerce patterns. Example. Okay, the obvious one here, I have to point out is Amazon one-click purchasing so far. Right, so far Amazon having this one-click purchasing means one-click purchase, one click purchase plus payment. Okay, so far you see other website like e-commerce website like Lazada, they don't have this one click payment or purchasing. right? So far still patented by this Amazon. And the other one is Akamai Internet Content Delivering Global Hosting System, right? Okay, so these are some of them. Okay, the third one, trademark. Identify distinguish goods and also I indicate their source. Right? Example, ingredient, right? Ingredients and also the process. Okay. Purpose is to ensure consumer get what is paid and expected to receive, protect owners against privacy, right? Privacy and also misappropriations. Okay. So the brand, someone actually using your brand, you come up with a product called ABC, right? So the other day, actually another company also produced the same product, also called ABC, and it also quite similar to your product. Okay, so trademark is to protect consumer, right? Consumers design or consumers brand actually, right? So infringement, right? Copy, protect the product, copied by others. Okay, so trademark is important. Like example, Nike, they protect the brand, right? Nike, right? Nike. Okay, no one actually can use this logo so far. Right? So this is trademark. Okay, so trademarks and the internet. Okay, right? So these are some of the control. And the other one is a trade secrets, right? Trade secret is something like business procedure, formula, methods of manufacture and service delivery. This is not a physical product, but this is something like procedure, formulas. Right? Trade secret is secrets recipe. Right? What are the recipe actually build up that product? That also can be protected as well. Right? Maybe not unique and novel, but owners of that product they can protect their recipe, their formula, right, from being copied by others party. Okay, so trade secrets are secrets, okay, have commercial value to owner, right? Have commercial value. Owner has taken step to protect as well, right? Okay, so far who governs the internet and e-commerce, right? When come to dispute, right? So e-commerce actually they can escalate most of the disputes, right, to their to higher authority, right? Right, of course, ICNN is the domain name system, right? This is the party actually control domain name in the world. .com, right? Any dot, example .com, or .my, right? Who actually violate the what's called the rules of the law. Okay, ICANN may have to step in as well. Internet can be easily controlled, monitored, and regulated from a central location. Okay, so ICANN actually can monitor something like Bank Negara, right? So all the transaction they can actually monitor. Okay, so some others like transactions. Okay, the last one, public safety and welfare. Right. So if we talk about public safety and welfare in the community, right? So the protection of children against pornography and also privacy infringement important. Right? We don't allow children to simply surf, right, unnecessary website and also share certain privacy information easily. Right? So enforce to control gambling and restrict the sales of the drug also, right, on internet and cigarette as well, right? So these are something have to be controlled and also protect from, right, use law to protect, right, from violations. Okay, so there are increase in number of states allowing online gambling. So online gambling now quite serious, right? So this is also part of the e-commerce, right? Can you imagine this is also e-commerce, means the online trading, right? So means they play games, they gamble online, and then they can transfer money online transaction, and they can receive money online as well. Right, that also involve merchant and also consumer banking systems. Right, they have a good e-commerce platform, right, to allow consumer and traders, right, to work to have a tradings gambling online. Okay, so that's all for chapters 7. We talk about ethicals, right? Ethicals in e-commerce, right? How to manage ethical issues. Okay, so basically, the focus on what does it mean by ethicals. Then, what are privacy informations? What are the things can be shared? What are things cannot be shared? Then how to protect, right? Right, you want to protect, first we may protect your personal information, and also you also have to protect intellectual property as well, something you created, right, either tangible or intangible. All right, so understand the law, right, the law, ethicals, that are some of the key importance topic in chapter 7. Right, students, thank you very much for listening. I hope you do a thorough revisions. Also look at this tutorial 7 as well to understand chapter 7. Right, so your revision is important in this period. Thank you very much.